Hello, good morning to all of you. How are you, my dear friends? Today, we are discussing a very important topic, and that is emotional intelligence. When I say very important, I don't mean at all that it is important from examination point of view. From examination point of view, it is, but it is important because it plays an important role in your life. Now, how emotional role will play its role in our life, we will talk about. What is the concept? What are the components of emotional intelligence? This is the topic of today. It is quite different from your IQ, that is intelligence quotient. How it is different, I will talk about. Let us first talk about what is the concept, what is emotional intelligence. Imagine a brilliant boy with an excellent brain who excels in almost everything, but the boy is not good with people. Firstly, he is arrogant, he is smart, he knows it and he makes sure that you know it too. In addition, he is emotionally unstable, his mood swings widely and quickly from one experience to another. Even more important, he seems incapable of restraining his temper or impulsive. He would get into angry exchanges with teachers because he just doesn't know when to quit, when to stop contradicting them and making them look bad in front of the class. Taken all this into account, the boy can be called brilliant, but only in certain respect. In others, he is truly a backward. What does it mean? There is a boy who is very brilliant, his academic record is very good, but his behavior is very arrogant. He is not able to control his impulses. If anger comes, he just puts a explosive, and it creates a nuisance in the class, in the society. So though he is intelligent, but by behavioral, emotionally, I will call he is a backward child. So this is the concept from where emotional intelligence emerges. The above example suggests that there is some other kind of intelligence quite distinct from that measured by IQ test. We have seen some people who do poorly in school succeed in life, whereas some who do well in school but do not do so well in the real world. So, for the success in real world, in addition to IQ, emotional intelligence plays an important role. Now, what does it mean? What is IQ? IQ, actually, if you define IQ, this concept was given by Stern and was used by Terman for the first time in his test Stanford Binet in 1916. I am talking about IQ. Now, if you define IQ, IQ is the ratio of mental age and chronological age. What is the ratio of your mental age and your biological age, your actual age? And that is why we say IQ is equal to MA upon CA. We multiply by 100 simply because to get rid of the decimal. Now, it is not emotional intelligence. It is not emotional intelligence. You might have observed some people who are very brilliant, doing very well in academics, but when they come in the society, nobody likes them. Now, there are students who are poor in academics, but their behavior is so nice that everybody likes them. So, this is your difference between the IQ and the emotional intelligence. Concept of emotional intelligence was first introduced by Peter Salovey and John Mayer in 1990 and later popularized by Daniel Goleman in 1995 through his book Emotional Intelligence, Why It Can Matter More Than IQ. The concept was given by Peter Salovey and the Mayer, but it was popularized, it was taken further by the Goleman. And Goleman wrote a book, the name of the book was Emotional Intelligence, Why It Can Matter More Than IQ. Then that means why it is above the IQ. So through this book, he elaborated the concept and make this concept popularized. When I will come to the end, then I will quote you what Goleman says about the emotional intelligence. Goleman defined emotional intelligence as a cluster of traits or abilities relating to emotional side of the life. What is emotional intelligence? He talks about certain characteristics. Now, what is emotional? In contemporary research, emotional intelligence is treated as an ability as well as a personality trait. Mayer, Crosso and Salovey 2000 has considered it as the ability to process information about one's emotions and the emotion of others. It has 4 components: emotional perception, emotional integration, emotional understanding and emotional management. But what does it mean? how we are perceiving the emotion. After perceiving, how I am processing in my brain, that is the integration. Now, once I have processed it in my brain, I will understand that what does it mean. It is a pleasant or unpleasant, and then I will manage my emotion, that is emotional management. We will talk about in detail in the later part of the lecture. And they have developed a multiple factor emotional intelligence scale to measure it. So, they have developed a scale which measures for, in India, a very popular scale has been developed by Professor N.K. Chadha, who is the professor of the Delhi University, and that scale measures emotional intelligence. Now, how different people define emotional intelligence? Now, first I will give you the definition of Mayer and Salovey, who propounded the concept of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to perceive emotions, to assess and generate emotions so as to assist thinking, to understand emotions and emotional knowledge, and to reflectively regulate emotion so as to promote emotional and intellectual growth. Now, Mayer and Salovey says, what is this? What is emotional intelligence? They say to perceive emotions. What is your mood? What do you want? Whether you are in angry mood, whether you are in a pleasant mood, that is means to recognize and to assess and generate. When we meet someone who has succeeded, we very happily say congratulations. We don't say by weeping congratulations. No, because that means we are understanding, we have generated that emotion. So, they say what is this? To perceive the emotion and to generate and to reach up to that emotion, and it will help in your intellectual as well as in the emotional growth. The second definition is given by Goldman, who made it popularize. Emotional intelligence is defined as the capacity for recognizing our emotional feelings and those of others, for motivating ourselves and for managing emotions well in ourselves as well as in our relationships. Emotional intelligence describes abilities distinct from what complementary to academic intelligence are the purely cognitive functions measured by IQ. Now, IQ is a purely cognitive concept. Now, cognitive means intellectual. What Goldman says? He says emotional intelligence is not understanding one's emotions. It is also the capacity to understand the emotion of others also, with whom I am interacting, with whom I am participating in the different activities. So, when you come to the IQ, it is purely a cognitive. It is not purely emotional intelligence, is not cognitive. It is not academic intelligence. Cognition is there, but in the same way, personality, that is emotional concept, is also there. So, Goldman, has more elaborated this definition, which was given by earlier by the Mayer and Salovey. I give you one more definition. This is by Barr on R. At Barr on R in 1997, they defined on the basic definition basis, Barr constructed a test of emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence reflects one's abilities to deal with daily environmental challenges and helps predict one's success in life, including professional and personal pursuits. When you are in the professional environment, you are have a meeting, there is a meeting, you are discussing something. Now, how you will manage your emotion, how you will perceive the emotion of the chairman, how you will perceive the emotion of the co-members, how you will manage your emotions. So, whether it is a professional or my personal, when I am talking to my father, I am talking to my teacher, I am talking to my son, I am talking to my friend, how I will control, how I will have control or understand my emotions as well as their emotions. So, Barr on defined emotional intelligence in this manner. Now, very important point, what are the major components of emotional intelligence? Emotional intelligence is composed of how many factors? Earlier I talked about 4 factors that was given by Mayer and Salovey. Now, Goldman, who popularized this concept, he says there are 5 components in your emotional intelligence. Number 1, knowing your emotions. Number 2, managing our emotions. Number 3, recognizing the emotion of others. Number 4, motivating ourselves, that is self motivation, and number 5, handling the relationship. So he says, if these 5 factors are there in you, then you will be called as the emotionally intelligent person. Now we will talk about each factor independently and we will try to explain what does it mean. Number 1, knowing our emotions. Emotions are often powerful reactions. What is emotion? They are powerful reactions. When you are emotionally disturbed, your mood is off, then you react aggressively. When your emotion is present, you are in a present mood, then you know everything proceeds very good. But you say na, everything will proceed green and green. And when we are in an angry mood, there is no bully. What is this? So emotions are nothing. Emotions are often powerful reactions. As it would seem at first glance that everyone ought to be able to recognize their own feelings. In fact, however, this is not always the case. Some persons are highly aware of their emotions and their thoughts about themselves, but others seems to be almost totally unaware of these. What are the implications of such differences? Now, I will talk about the second and then merge the first and two and then try to explain. Knowing our emotions. What are the implications? First of all, to the extent that individuals are not aware of their own feelings, they cannot make intelligent choices. How can they tell whom to marry, what job to take, which house or car to buy, or even what to order in a restaurant? Now they say, what is the first point? Recognizing my emotion. I must know that what type of the person I am, what are my emotions. If I am not aware of my emotions, then how you can make a choice of the girl whom you want to marry? You are very aggressive. Then you must know that you are aggressive. So your partner should be able to tolerate your aggression. You go in a restaurant where the environment is different, there is a self-service. In self-service, you have to take to the counter and take the plate and you have to, whatever you want to take, you have to pick. Now, I am a very egoist. Why I should do my self-service? I am paying, you must serve on my table. So, you are not able to decide that which, restaurant to go, where to eat, which car I should buy, which color I should prefer. If you know your emotions, then you can manage the thing. Secondly, because such persons are not aware of their emotions, they are often low in expressiveness. They don't show their feelings clearly through facial expression, bodily language, or other cues which most use to recognize others' feeling. This can have adverse effect on their interpersonal relationship. If you know the emotions, then your facial expression, your body language will be governed according to that. Now, on a function 15th August, our Independence Day, you have invited me for the flag hosting. Now, my emotion is very elated. I am very enthusiastic. I am not sad because it is my Independence Day. Now, after hosting the flag, I am to deliver a lecture. So, I say, friends, today is Independence Day. We are celebrating our freedom, but our neighbor, is very destructive. If he shows his eye, I will pull his eye, and if he shows finger, I will cut his finger. The people say, how you will manage? You are not able to murmur what you want to say. Now, I know that it is a function of illusion. I know my emotion. I say, friends, today is Independence Day. We are celebrating our independence throughout the India and the world. But my neighbor is very destructive. If he shows the eye, I will pull his eye, and if he shows the finger, I will cut his finger. Now, if you compare first and second, my body expressions were different. So, if I recognize my emotions, my facial expressions will be different, and if your facial expressions, your body language is not according to the situation, then interpersonal relationship cannot be sustained. Because when we go for a condolence meeting, the face is sad. We don't know who is he, but we have to go because the culture, they say, then there is sadness on the face. Your body expression goes according to your emotions. So, you must recognize your emotions. So, the second component of emotional intelligence is managing our own emotions. Have you ever lost your temper or cried when you did not want to show such reactions? Have you ever done something to cheer up yourself when you felt anxious or depressed? If yes, then you are already aware of the fact that we often try to manage our emotions to regulate their nature, intensity and expression. Doing so is very important both for your own mental health and from the point of view of interacting effectively with the others. Think of people who simply cannot control their temper. Are they bound to success and a happy life? The answer is big no. Now, you see, the first point was recognizing one's emotions. If I am not able to recognize my emotion, how I will control? It is not possible to control. When you will control? When you know your emotion. Now, for example, there is an interaction between your papa and you, your teacher and you, and they have said a certain point which irritated you, Then you know anger shoots up, but he is my teacher, he is my papa. Once you recognize your emotion that my anger has shoot up, you have recognized, immediately you will try to control it. I can't speak in such language before my father. I should not speak in this manner before my teacher. When you recognized it. If you are not able to recognize, then how you will manage? If I am not able to recognize my pitch in the class is slow, then how I will speak loudly? The student says, sir, whatever you are speaking, we are not able to listen. But why? Then I recognize I am speaking so slowly that my voice is not going up to the last bench. Now, once I have recognized, I will raise my voice. Similarly, if you recognize your emotions, then you can control your emotions. Now, you see, if you control your emotions, your interpersonal relations will be positive. They will be facilitated. And if we are not able to control them, then there will be the problem. You know, we say certainly in the family, there is every day, there is on some points, there is a hot interaction. Then you see, we recognize unnecessarily we are putting in our discussion, not for nothing, even on a political issue. X below is preaching for advocating one political party, then Y is advocating for a second political party. Nothing to take, but we are discussing, then you come in anger. Then I realize, no, I am unnecessarily discussing with my wife. I say, leave it, yaar. Bring a cup of tea, let us have a tea. Now, I recognize the situation will be deteriorated in this hot discussion. So, immediately I withdraw, I say bring a cup of tea. If we are not able to control, then you know there are problems in the family, in the society, in the office, in the everywhere we are interacting with the others. So, first point was recognize your emotions, and second, once you have recognized, you try to control your emotions, manage your emotions. The third is emotional intelligence doesn't mean you recognize your emotion. Recognizing others' emotions also. Another aspect is the ability to read others accurately, to recognize the mood they are in and what emotions they are experiencing. This skill is valuable in many practical settings. If you can accurately recognize another person's current mood, you can tell whether it is the right time to ask for a favor. Similarly, persons who are skilled at generating strong emotions in others are often successful in such fields as sales or politics. They can get other people to feel what they want them to feel. If you are recognizing the emotions of others, then you know you can tackle the situation. If you want to ask a favor, I am a LIC agent, I am a salesman, I have gone to certain family, and in that family there is a mishappening and their mood is off. They are emotionally disturbed. Now, once I go to their house, knock the door and they come, I feel that there is a emotions of sadness, sorrowness. Then I will not ask, take my goods, take the policy. Now I say, okay, I am sorry that I have come at a wrong time, I will some other time. Why? Because I have recognized their emotions. We recognize emotions of our father, mother. We see if they are not in a good mood, will you ask something for the favor? You want to go to the movie with the permission of your father and the father is very angry, then you will not ask that day, Papa, should I go to the movie? You see, Papa is in a very good mood. Papa, can I go movie today? Papa say, good beta, you can go. When you have recognized the emotion of your father. So, emotional intelligence is not own emotion, emotions of the others also. I tell you, once upon a time, my father is no more now. I was having some discussion on a topic. Then I put my point, scientific mind, and my papa said, you know, no, it is because of the God. I said, no, it is because of this. Then I saw the face of my father, and I just perceived that my papa is getting angry. He now, by my views, he is getting disturbed. I am telling the actual incident. He is getting disturbed. Immediately, I recognize his emotions. Then I withdrew myself, and I said, Papa, I am sorry. I was wrong. What you are saying is right. My papa said, this is like a good son. Now, this happened when I recognized the emotion of my father. Clear? So, third point is recognizing the emotion of the others also. The fourth is motivating ourselves. Nutshell, I say, don't wait for the society to motivate you. Intrinsic motivation, self-satisfaction. This is motivating ourselves, that is the self-motivation. Thomas Edison, the famous inventor, you know all, once remarked, success is 2% inspiration and 98% perspiration. While inspiration or creativity is certainly important, but perspiration means more than simply hard work. It is to motivate oneself to work long and hard on a task, remaining enthusiastic and optimistic about the final outcome, and being able to delay gratification, that is to put off receiving small rewards in order to get larger ones later on. So, self motivation is important. Being high in such skills can indeed contribute to success in many different contexts. Now, I will explain you with an example. What Thomas Edison said? He said, intelligence is okay, creativity is important, no doubt about it. Hard work is important, you should hard work. But if there is no enthusiasm, there is no self-satisfaction, there is no will to act, will to behave, then how you can proceed for a further work? Now, I give you an example of self-motivation. You might have seen cricket match. When a bowler takes the wicket and umpire says out, he raises the finger, out. Now, before the other fielders rush to the bowler to embrace him, to say shabash, good, good, before the other players come, what is the behavior of that bowler? He says, Now, this how is what? Self-motivation. If I am motivating myself for my good ball, next ball I will try to throw in the again that manner. This is self-satisfaction. You might have seen the word, I am talking about not the football which is played in the street, we play daily. If you see the international matches, FIFA or the various clubs which they are playing, if a player he shoots a goal, then he runs in the field and all the fellow players, they run behind him and he sits on a particular place. Then all will embrace him and good, good, good. Now, why is he running? He is motivating himself for the best move which he has made. You have donated the blood and somebody, you come to know in the next morning that your donation has saved the life of a person. Before the family of the person whom you saved, they will give you thanks, but before that it is self-satisfaction that I have saved the life of one person. This is self-motivation. Now, if I have motivated myself, then naturally next time I will again go for the blood donation. Clear? So, fourth was the self-motivation. The fifth is the handling relationship. Some people seem to have knack for getting along with other. Most people who meet these people like them, and as a result they have many friends and often enjoy high level of success in their career. In contrast, others seem to make mess of virtually all their personal relationship. Their differences are another reflection of the differences in emotional intelligence. Some researchers call it interpersonal intelligence. So, interpersonal intelligence means how I am managing my relations with the other, and for managing the relation, what is important? The importance is empathy. Empathy means feeling oneself into. That means feeling the problem of the others as my own problem. If I am perceiving the problem of the other's problem, then interpersonal relationship will be better, and the society will give me recognition. It will be my self-satisfaction. You are standing on a road. There is a blind person. We say how this blind fellow will cross the road. It is sympathy. It is sympathy. What is empathy? If I would have been a blind fellow and standing on the road, what I am expecting? Some will come, he will pick my hand and cross the road. If this feeling come, that is empathy, then if you do this, you will be appreciated, your relations will be better. Then what does, last point, what does interpersonal intelligence involve? Such skills as being able to coordinate the efforts of several people and to negotiate relation, to complete solutions to complex interpersonal problem. Being good at giving others feedback that doesn't make them angry or resentful, and being team player are again clearly distinct from ones needed for getting good grades. Emotional intelligence can enhance with the help of adequate provision for training in self-motivation, self-regulation, communication and problem solving. That is why you say Goldman, who made this concept popularized, commented, he says that if you have IQ only 20%, intelligence only 20% and 80% emotional intelligence, then you will succeed in each and every walk of your life. He says IQ is okay, general awareness, that is there, but if I am emotionally intelligent, 80% emotional intelligence, then I can solve each problem. Why? Because if I can recognize my emotions, I will control it. I can recognize the emotion of others. I can very well handle the meetings and the interpersonal relationship. I am a self-motivating person, self-satisfaction. I will do the work. Clear? If I develop the feeling for the others, it will enhance my output in the society. So, it says that if you are 20% only have IQ and 80% EQ, emotional quotient, then you will succeed in every part of your life. That is why in the beginning I said today topic which we are discussing is not important only from examination point of view, even for your own life. So, try to be emotionally intelligent. So, develop only 5 quality. Recognize your emotions, number 1. Number 2, control your emotions. Number 3, understand the emotion of others. Number 4, you will be self-motivation. Don't wait for the reward of for the other extrinsic, that people will come and say good. You have the self-satisfaction. And last is handling relations and developing empathy. So, this was all about the emotional intelligence.